Alrighty, are we here? Are we good? What's up, everybody? Good morning, and we're back with the one day this week that there's a trial. But good news is that apparently it's a full day. Yeah. Hey, Tammy. Good morning, Amanda, Yolanda, Chef Lady, Tammy, Marie, Chef Apples, Grumped Up, Ange. What's up, everybody? So today should be pretty interesting. So continuing with Brian Higgins, and I are they still? They're crossing him, right? They're crossing him, yeah. Yeah, I should put that in the. I think they were crossing him still, right? They were still crossing him, or was it still prosecution, or still cross? What do you guys remember? What do we leave at? I feel like we had so many days off. I'm like disoriented. Twitter was crazy too, man. Oh god. Oh, for a couple of days, I was making all these tweets and stuff, and going back and forth, and it was interesting. Some people upset. The world of Twitter, gotta love it. And then Memorial Day, I just pretty much just took off, just chilled. What do you guys think so far with the trial? Brian Higgins still Bueller? Bueller. Alan Throws, how you doing? Good morning. Shylock. It does feel like it's been forever. Imagine what we're gonna feel like when we come back next Monday to the trial. Today might start with CW. Yeah, he's not done. Brian Higgins is not done. I thought the judge was gonna try to make him finish, but they definitely didn't finish. Two jurors had some today. I think today's a full day. Two jurors had something scheduled. It was decided when the jury was selected. Absurd. They're going to be. That's the one thing about this trial. What I'll say. They've had so many like days off and random days off, and like I mean, I know there's some trials. I feel like we've done one or two before where they have like a half a day on a Thursday or something, or but this one it's been not only scheduled days off but random days off, and of course there's the holidays and stuff. And now it's just like a week off. I mean, I guess they have maybe other court things to attend to. The sidebars are very time consuming. They always start late. I don't know if there's been one day it started on time. I think it's supposed to be started at 9 a.m. every day. What's up, Chris? Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. I mean, the last time it was Friday. Friday was pretty crazy. I mean, they had the text messages, which I saw a lot of different feelings about it. Some people feel like it was nothing and it's just to smear her character. And some people just feel like, oh, well, it just made Brian Higgins look bad and not her. I think it made them both look bad. Yeah, it's not. So they're like, oh, it doesn't prove murder. And I agree, it doesn't. But it shows to me, like I said again, this entire time they've been painting like this perfect relationship, which of course no relationship is perfect, but this is I feel like this is the first time we see like a kink in that story. As far, like the whole, not happy. To me, I took it as she never wanted kids, but I also sympathize. She wasn't expecting those kids. They just kind of came around because of his situation. But I think it does show another side as well. But then Higgins is sus too because I don't know. I heard the way he disposed of his phone, but some people argue that that's how those people dispose of their phone. But he took out the SIM card. If you take it to military base, I don't know. See the biggest thing to me too. That's one of them. There's quite a few, but the how long to die in the cold, which both sides have their own explanation about that. So I'm gonna have to really see how they break that down. during expert testimony. And I don't know if they can explain all the butt dials. That doesn't make no sense to me either. The disposable SIM card is sus. I think Carrie Roberts' testimony, I don't know people that disagree. I thought her testimony too was kind of damning. I mean, the whole thing where she claims that Karen called her, it was like 5 in the morning, said he was dead and hit by a snowplow driver. I don't know. There's just too many things on both sides. But we have to see what other witnesses they have. I wonder who else to bring in. And Michael Proctor is going to be an interesting witness. I'm sure he has to testify. Hey, good morning, Bill. Good morning. That is weird too. Like, who throws it? Did he actually throw it away? Yeah, he threw it away, right? Brian Higgins. So the other people, they traded in their phone, I guess. Brian Higgins like discarded his phone. DJ Nashville says, I think she was looking for revenge sex, but I don't think she unalived him. Instagram Messenger. Yeah. Just see Instagram. I don't know if I'm logged in here. I gotta log in. The Zero Cool said this has to be the most badly planned trial. So many gaps in between trial days. I sometimes wonder about that, like especially this week, having such a huge gap in the middle of a trial. You know, so many gaps between trial days. How are the jury supposed to keep track or remember every bit of evidence and testimony? Just Linda. Supposedly, they say the defense does have FBI, FBI witness. John O'Keefe family has entered the courtroom. The defense team and her supporters are Karen Reed. The defense team and her supporters are in the courtroom. Alan Jackson is not here today. The court was notified of his planned absence on Friday. Okay, it's expected that David Yanati will finish the cross of ATF agent Brian Higgins. Okay, so Jackson's not in the courtroom today. Hoax said everyone has to upgrade their phones within 3 months involved with a dead guy is normal society. Or security, maybe, or society. Yeah, I mean, right now, if I was a juror at this moment in time, I'd still feel like, I mean, you gotta wait. You're supposed to wait to the end, I guess, but the feelings I'd feel right now, so far, I mean, I think it really depends how credible you find those witnesses. I'd have to say, so far, there's reasonable doubt just because of all the questionable things some of these witnesses have done. But I don't know. I feel like the Carrie Roberts one and the fact and them not cross examining her. Some people were saying maybe they'll bring her on the defense side. They'll recall her because I guess she got emotional. I was surprised they didn't cross examine Carrie. Let's see what this says here. When is this document from? April 10th. Oh. On February 21st, 2024, the U.S. Attorney's Office proceeded to the Commonwealth and defended a substantial, produced to the Commonwealth and the defendant a substantial number of confidential documents from its investigation. On March 8th and March 19, 2024, the U.S. Attorney's Office confirmed to the Commonwealth and defense that all information relevant and material to the pending Norfolk Superior Court criminal proceedings against Karen Reed has been produced. On March 19, 2024, the defense indicated it was satisfied with the U.S. Attorney's Office representation that it had received all relevant and material information. In sum, the federal documents are consistent with the Commonwealth's theory of the case and debunk the defendant's allegations of a cover-up or third-party culprit. Throughout the course of the federal investigation, the defense communicated with the U.S. Attorney's Office and provided material and records that advanced the defendant's theory of the case. The unusual collaboration resulted in a discovery that far exceeds the bounds permitted by the Massachusetts rules of criminal procedure.
Jim, counsel.
Counsel, can I see it sidebar?
Hear ye, hear ye. Hear ye. Got my ice water. We got a full day today, guys. I don't get that either. The pig DNA found
versus Karen Reed. Can I have counsel identify themselves for the record?
Adam Lally for the Commonwealth. Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Mr. Lally.
Good morning, Your Honor. Laura McLaughlin for the Commonwealth.
Morning, Ms. McLaughlin.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Let me ask you this, guys. Was there any DNA found on the taillight? Bits and pieces?
Good morning, jurors. Before
you are unmuted.
I just want to mention that Attorney Jackson is not here today. Please don't consider that in any way. Certainly don't hold it against Ms. Reed for him not being here. Just don't consider it at all in your deliberations. So I do have to ask you those 3 questions. Were you all able to follow my instructions and refrain from discussing this case with anyone? Yes. Everyone said yes or nodded affirmatively.
Jesus.
Were you also
survived.
able to follow the instruction and refrain from doing any independent research or investigation into this case?
Yes.
Everyone said yes or nodded affirmatively. Did anyone happen to see, hear, or read anything about this case since we left here on Friday? No. Everyone said no. Thank you very much. All right, let's bring Mr. Higgins in, please. And Ms. Giannetti, you'll be taking over?
I will, Your Honor.
Okay.
Hey, Giannetti solo. Oh, I mean, he has snow, but...
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the evidence given in court and the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Oh, that sounds funny.
Good morning. Proceed, Your Honor.
Yes.
Sir, you provided to investigators what you claim were the complete text exchanges between yourself and Karen Reed and yourself and John O'Keefe, correct?
What I provided was the complete, I let them know that it was a complete exchange between myself and the defendant. And I said that I may have had other text strings at other times with Mr. O'Keefe.
I'm going to proceed to ask you a series of questions which call for a yes or no answer. Can we agree that you'll answer yes or no to those questions?
If I can answer yes or no to the best of my ability, I will.
All right, I'm going to keep the questioning very simple, sir. Okay? You did not provide to investigators any other text messages between you and anyone else.
That's correct.
In September of 2022, you were served with a preservation order for your phone, were you not?
Yes.
After September of 2022, you never received anything in writing that canceled or lifted that preservation order, correct?
That's correct.
After September of 2022, you made the decision to dispose of your phone without consulting anybody about the decision to throw out your phone, correct?
Yes.
Before you threw the phone away, you did a factory reset of it, did you not?
No, I did not.
Well, you've previously testified that you testified in another proceeding on June 1st, correct, of 2023?
Yes.
Prior to that June 1st testimony, you met with some people and gave a statement on May 5th of 2023, did you not?
I did meet with them. I don't know if that was the date.
Okay. It was prior to June, correct?
Yes.
All right. May 5th doesn't sound wildly inaccurate, does it?
No.
And when you met with those people on or about May 5th, we'll say, or whatever date it was prior to June 1st of 2023, you told them that you did a factory reset of your phone ending in 5421. Did you not?
I don't recall that. No. I don't recall making that statement.
You don't recall what you said about the factory reset during that interview, we'll call it, in May of 2023, correct?
That's correct.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, no, don't do it. Don't do it.
Directing your attention to the first highlighted line there, sir.
Why don't you give him a second?
If you read that silently to yourself and look up at me when you're done.
Hell to the no, no. No, no. Oh. It was the night after they were instructed to keep their phones. Okay. So the prosecution is probably going to try to come back on that?
May I
Fa-
approach?
I'm going to save your comment, Beal. Also on the break, I'll read it to people.
Having read
Whenever
that
they post.
document, sir, does that refresh your memory about telling those people in May of 2023 that you did do a factory reset of your phone?
That's not accurate. I did not tell them that. And I also didn't
Bruh.
tell them that I saved texts with my father.
Oh, what?
So your
So they lied.
testimony is that they got it wrong, correct?
My testimony is I didn't make those statements.
Your testimony is that they got it wrong, yes or no?
Objection.
Sustained.
Well, in any case, you took the SIM card out of your phone, correct?
No, what I testified to was that it's.
Did you take the SIM card out of your phone, yes or no?
Oh,
I don't know.
oh my God.
Did you testify that that's what you do when you get rid of phones, sir?
What I said was that might have been the extent of it if I was to have done that.
And you either cut up the SIM card or ripped it up, correct?
I believe what I testified to was
I'm
I
not
would
asking
have
you what you testified to. I'm asking you today, did you either cut up the SIM card or rip it up?
cut it up or broke it.
And you will agree with me that cutting up or breaking the SIM card destroys the SIM card, does it not?
The card itself, yes.
That would have been the purpose in terms of cutting it up or ripping it up, to destroy it, correct?
Well, so nobody else could use the phone.
Well, that was my next question. But,
In another phone.
But the purpose of cutting up or ripping up or the SIM card is to destroy the SIM card, is it not?
Yes.
And you wanted to make sure that somebody couldn't put that SIM card in their phone and potentially access your data, correct?
No, that wouldn't be the reason why.
That's its purpose. If you're deleting, if you're destroying it.
We already talked about the fact that you testified under oath on June 1st of 2023, correct?
Yes.
And you were under oath when you were testifying on June 1st of 2023, correct?
Yes.
You swore to tell the truth.
Yes.
You raised your right hand.
That's correct.
And June of 2023, June 1st of 2023, was about a year ago, correct?
Yes.
It was about a year closer to your throwing your phone away, correct?
Yes.
And in that testimony that you gave in June 1st of 2023, did you say the following, quote, "I made sure that somebody couldn't put it in their phone"?
Yes, I did say that.
In fact, by either cutting up or ripping up your SIM card, you also knew that that SIM card couldn't be put back in your phone either, correct?
Yeah, I believe that would be correct.
And you'll agree with me that you took that destroyed SIM card and put it in a trash bag, did you not?
I believe it went in a trash bag, yes.
Well, you used a passive voice. It went in a trash bag. Did it fly out of your hand unexpectedly into a trash bag?
No, sir. It would have been disposed of with the phone.
No, I understand. But are you reluctant to say that you put it in a trash bag, sir?
Objection.
Can you answer that? Are you reluctant to say that?
No, Your Honor, I put it in a trash bag.
Finally, there. Jeez. I gotta put gun to your head.
my
And
trash.
then you also took your phone, now without the SIM card, and you put that in the trash bag too, did you not?
Yes, sir.
Then you drove to a military base and you threw both the destroyed SIM card and the phone into a dumpster, did you not?
Well, I was cutting through the base, and I believe how I
Did you
testified
drive to a
was
military base, sir?
I was cutting through a base, yes.
Did you drive to it?
Yes, sir.
And then you put both the destroyed SIM card and the phone itself, which were in a trash bag, into a dumpster on that military base, did you not?
I believe that's what I did, yes.
And as you were driving away, you knew that that destroyed SIM card and the phone would be gone forever, correct?
Yes, I threw it away.
And before you drove away, you did not transfer anything from your old phone to the new phone, correct?
That's correct.
You lost all of your photos on that phone, did you not?
Whatever photos I had on there, I did,
Wow.
You lost all your videos on that phone, did you not?
yes. To the extent if I had any.
You lost all of your other text messages besides the ones that you had with Karen Reed and John O'Keefe, correct?
That's correct.
And you knew that you did have text messages on that old phone with Kevin Albert.
He's a friend, most likely.
You also had text messages on your phone with Nicole Albert.
Most likely, yes.
And you had text messages on your phone with Brian Albert.
Yes.
It was important to you that no one see those text exchanges that you had with those three members of the Albert family.
Objection.
I'll let him have it.
No, sir, that's not true.
You took no steps to preserve those text messages, did you?
That's correct.
You did not ask your friend Matt Kelch, the agent, to help you extract those text messages, did you?
That's correct.
And when you went to that machine, you did not extract them yourself, did you?
He walked me through it. I did do the extraction.
You did not extract the 3 strands of text messages with Nicole Albert, Kevin Albert, and Brian Albert to preserve from that machine, did you not?
No, I did not extract those.
So the only place you knew they existed was on your old phone, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
The same phone that you put into a dumpster on a military base with a SIM card removed from the phone and destroyed, correct?
Well, I did throw the SIM card and the phone on the military base.
Right, and the SIM card was destroyed. You've already testified to that.
I said to the extent of if I did that, I would have done that.
And we're talking about the actual phone that would have had your text messages, again, with Brian, Nicole, and Kevin Albert, correct?
Yes, because the motion was denied.
Well, you've already testified, sir, earlier that you never received anything in writing that either canceled or lifted the initial preservation order, correct?
That is correct.
You knew when you were throwing that phone and the destroyed SIM card in the dumpster, that from that day forward, no one would ever be able to access the content of what you and Brian Albert had discussed by text messages on your old phone, correct?
Anybody.
I have nothing further.
Damn.
Mr. Lally?
Dropped it. Dropped the mic. All right, how are you going to clean this up? You guys think it's all swingers and shit? All these people fucking each other?
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Something weird is going on. I don't know something. Because I heard even Karen was trying
If I
to
could take you back
not give her phone up
just
and
for a
stuff.
moment to January 29th, early in the morning, you're pulling away from the Albert home, correct?
Yes.
And you had the plow down on the front of your Jeep Wrangler, is that correct?
Initially, it was still on the ground, yes.
And about how long distance again was that on the ground before you pulled that up?
Maybe a foot.
And with relation to the curb, specifically in front of the area with the flagpole and the fire hydrant, how close to the curb were you when you were pulling away from the Albert house?
I believe I looked both ways. There was no vehicles coming in either direction. I pulled out into traffic, and because that's a one-lane road, if there's no other vehicles, I'd be more to the center of that road.
Now, maybe a silly question, but with reference to the front of your Jeep Wrangler, that didn't have any red plastic pieces or anything like that on the front of it, correct?
At what time? At what point?
At any time.
No.
And that's the same Jeep Wrangler that you then drove to the Canton Police Station immediately after?
Directly from there, yes.
And then you drove that same Jeep Wrangler back to your home in West Roxbury?
Yes.
And then you drove that same Jeep Wrangler back to Fairview Road later on that morning?
Yes.
And then you drove that same Jeep Wrangler from Fairview Road to the Canton Police Station again later that morning, correct?
Yes.
Now, the text communications between yourself and Ms. Reed, again, who initiated those?
The defendant did.
And that was on January 12th, 2022, correct?
About 8:23 in the evening, I believe.
Now, with reference to that, what she claimed happened in Aruba, that was something that she mentioned to you via text, correct?
The incident itself, I believe, was through text, but I believe the actual location was when she had stopped by my place in West Roxbury.
But so that's to my point. So, sir, with regard to the incident itself, she referenced that both via text and in person to you as well.
Yes, that's correct.
And the kiss that she planted on you in the garage at Mr. O'Keefe's house, that was again something that she mentioned both in text and verbally in person. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh my god! Remind me when we paused to
As far
update
as
you
the
on the
ghosting,
Rakia shit.
that you
I've never
were,
seen this
asked
before.
questions about last Friday. There were some text messages between you and the defendant on January 19th, correct?
What was the date? I'm sorry.
January 19th.
19th?
Yes.
Yes.
And do you recall if there were any text messages between you going either way, between yourself and the defendant, between January 19th and January 23rd?
I think there were. Not 100%.
Madam Mayor, approach.
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit 104A.
Leslie, I would rewind, and you could play it back a little bit fast, like a 1.25 or 1.5 to catch up. By the time you get on a break, we get a break, you'll probably catch up. But it was pretty good.
Back there, specifically the back page, but a little bit before that. If you could just let me know whether or not there's any text messages between yourself and the defendant, Ms. Reed, between January 19th and January 23rd.
Yes. Looks like the 19th and the 23rd, both text messages.
But in between those dates, and what I'm asking you about is January 20th, January 21st, January 22nd. There's no text messages on any of those dates, correct?
I don't see any.
And then as far as between January 23rd and January 28th, January 28th is when you texted her while you were both within the waterfall, correct?
On the 28th, yes.
So between the 23rd and the 28th, so on January 24th, January 25th, January 26th, January 27th, you didn't send any text messages to her, you didn't receive any from her, correct?
I don't believe so, no.
And then beyond that one text message that you testified to on the 28th, the next text message you received from the defendant was in regard to John being dead on the 29th, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Now, you're asked some questions about these text messages and whether or not you discussed them with various people. Did you discuss those text messages with anyone?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Why not, sir?
To be honest with you, I mean, on a personal level, I kind of keep things to myself. I was a little embarrassed. Wasn't really proud of him. Kind of maybe didn't show me in a good light with respects that I was John's friend.
And so with regard to that text on January 28th that you had sent her in the waterfall, she didn't respond as she was in the waterfall with her boyfriend, Mr. O'Keefe, correct?
That's correct.
Now, if the defendant did not have a boyfriend, wasn't dating Mr. O'Keefe, would you have been interested in pursuing anything further with the defendant?
I can't say. I don't know.
What, if any, reservations would you have based on the conversations that you had?
Just everything was so out of left field. I just found it hard to believe.
Now, with reference to going to the Camden Police Station after Fairview Road and moving the vehicles around, which is closer to the Camden Police Station? Your home in West Roxbury or the home on Fairview Road?
The home on Fairview Road would be.
And with the impending weather, why was it that you went to the Camden Police Station to move the vehicles around on that occasion?
Because as I stated before, if I didn't do it then, I would have had to come back in the morning. And I knew the weather was going to be getting worse. I knew that I had a long day. I had been in New York. I had been out the night before in New York, and I just thought it was best to get them moved at that point.
Now, you were asked some questions on Friday about a phone call or something in a call log from about 2 o'clock or 2:22 in the morning of January 29th. Do you recall that?
I recall the questions, yes.
And you have an iPhone, or you had an iPhone, is that correct?
Yes.
Now, when you make a call on an iPhone, as you sort of place that call, you hit the button, there's sort of a timer that comes up and it starts counting off seconds as the call is being connected, correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
And so seconds are ticking off while the call is being connected, correct?
I believe so,
And
yes.
if a call is connected, then it starts ringing, and unless someone picks up immediately, there are further seconds that are ticking off on an iPhone while that call is ringing through, correct?
I believe so.
The objection sustained is to the form.
You were asked some questions about a call or a call back between yourself and Brian Albert around that time frame. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And you were trying to explain sort of what your answers were in that prior proceeding in reference to, correct?
Yes.
What, if anything else, did you want to explain to the jury in regard to that?
Objection.
In that form, I'll sustain it.
You were asked some specific points as far as your testimony in the prior proceeding, correct?
Yes.
What, if anything else, did you say in reference to that in the prior proceeding?
Objection.
Sustained is to the form, Mr. Lawler.
Did you ever speak with Brian Albert at 2:22 in the morning on January 29th?
No, I did not.
Do you recall making a call or receiving a call from Brian Albert around that time?
No, I do not.
So what are all the calls then?
You were asked some questions on Friday regarding key card access within the Camden Police Station, correct?
Yes.
Now, as far as that door that you utilized, you would testify on Friday that you would sort of park down towards the back and then come in through the Sally Port area. Is that correct?
So I believe I was referring to one of the two Sally Port doors.
And that was sort of your cut through in order to get to your office.
Yes.
Now, with reference to that particular area, as far as going in and out from the parking lot of the Sally Port, does the key card, you have to swipe a key card in order to go in and to go out?
So sometimes if you're close to the door, maybe having a conversation with somebody, it could activate the key card itself. But physically, if I'm going into the door, I would take it out and I would swipe it. I would hold it to the card reader. Some are more sensitive than others, is what I'm trying to say.
And similar to when you're going in, when you're going out, does that require sort of swiping or using the key card in order to go outside?
So there are some doors that you need to swipe out of, and I believe the booking room and the Sally Port itself are doors such as those.
May I approach?
Yes.
Do they have the logs?
I'll show you a document of place 149.
Kent in the home of the butt dials.
If you could just take a look at that and look up when you're finished. You recognize that, sir?
Yes.
Is that the same document that was essentially the same document that was placed before you on Friday?
Yes.
And that's a 167-page document encapsulating different key swipes within the Canton Police Station on January 29, 2022, correct?
Yes.
And from those 167 pages, at least on that first page, does there appear to be about 27 entries there?
Yes.
And so from 27 entries over a course of 167 pages, that'd be somewhere north of 4,500 entries within those 167 pages. Does that sound right?
Well, I went to public high school, but I'll take your word for it.
Would it surprise you that there are 18 entries within those 4,500?
So not what would surprise him. Ask the question differently, Mr. Lawler.
You know that there are 18 entries that contain your name within those records?
Objection. Form of the question.
No, I'll allow that.
Are you asking me if in the 167 pages, there's only 18 entries with me?
Yes.
I did not know that, no.
Would that surprise you as far as your, well, let me rephrase that. Now, with respect to your travels around Canton Police Station on that particular day,
It's a big department, I
would
guess.
you quarrel with 18 entries as far as where you went and what you did in Canton PD that day?
No, in and out, nope.
I don't think that's. I mean, out of 4,500 swipes, 18 was Higgins. Okay, it's a police department. You're gonna take everybody's swipes and compare it to one person?
Now, sir, with respect to,
Maybe divide it how many employees
You're
there are
fine.
and see what's the average swipes.
you were provided
Swipegate.
notification in regard to a preservation order in regard to your phone sometime in September of 2022, correct?
I received a subpoena on September 30th, 2022.
And that was in regard to a hearing at which counsel for the defendant was seeking your physical phone as evidence, correct?
Yes.
And is it your understanding, or were you informed after that date, sometime in early October of 2022, that that motion had been denied?
So I believe it was October 21st of that year, I was made aware that that was denied on actually October 5th.
Are you aware of a 30-day period by which a defendant has to file some sort of notice of appeal of a motion?
Objection.
I'll allow that.
I know typically there's appeal periods. In this particular sense, I wasn't familiar with the preservation order itself. What a preservation order was with respects to, that was kind of all new to me. Usually in an investigation that I'm conducting, it's a search warrant, I take the phone. I don't ask people to preserve it through a court order, if that makes sense.
And so when was it that you disposed of your phone?
It was about 2 months after that,
And why was it that you disposed of the phone?
because it was beaten, it was broken up, and I had already had a new phone, and I just, only explanation is I threw it away. That's it.
Now, beyond sort of this case, what, if anything else, was going on with reference to your personal phone that led you to want to get rid of it?
So in July of 2022, I had a target of an investigation I was working who alleged that he called me on my personal cell phone, and when I questioned him as to the fact how he obtained my personal telephone number, he told me that his girlfriend had obtained it off of open source internet, which I later confirmed that number was out there.
What, if any, concerns did that raise for you, sir?
Well, I had a lot of concerns, and so July of 22 is when I probably started thinking about, you know what, I got to get rid of the telephone number itself.
And a lot of the work that you were doing, at least at that time, was undercover work. Is that correct?
Before this case right here, yes.
Now, as far as the SIM card that you're talking about, do you have any specific memory of doing anything with that SIM card?
No, and that's how I testified in that other hearing, that to the extent of what I would have done is I would have cut it up or broke it. And the concern would be that to my understanding, that's not holding any photos, that's not holding videos, that's not holding my contacts, it's holding phone information itself.
And as far as photos or videos or what, if anything, like that, did you even have on the phone?
I didn't have much in the sense that I'm divorced, I don't have kids, I didn't have the typical memories that somebody would have had on their phone that they wanted to preserve. They were more like the text messages with the defendant, where it would be a drink glass at a bar, food, something along those lines. I had more of a connection to my work phone and more of a value to my work phone than I did my personal phone.
Now, as far as that military base down the Cape, how often, let me ask you this, when you lived at the residence in Barnstable County, what would you do with your trash down there?
Well, if I was going through and I had trash or some recycling and I was either getting gas on the base or hitting the duty free, I would occasionally toss a bag of trash in one of the dumpsters there. Or if I forgot, I would throw it out when I got back to my other property. And at the time, at one point, I was living in Canton, and I had the house there, and then I sold it, and then I had the in-law I was renting, so I had other options to throw things away.
Do you have trash pickup at your residence in Barnstable?
No.
So if you were to throw away anything, any sort of trash, it would have to be either at the base or at one of your other homes.
It would be somewhere else.
And so with reference to the phone and the SIM card, if you even did you drive specifically to the base to throw your phone away, or were you throwing it away with other trash?
It was just with other trash.
You were shown some call logs or some toll records or something to that effect last Friday with respect to calls that you had made or received around January 29th, 2022. Is that correct?
Yes.
And was that anything that you had specifically preserved and given to the troopers, or that was something that someone was able to obtain even without your phone or without your SIM card, correct?
That's correct.
May I approach this to retrieve now?
Yes.
One moment, Charles.
Yes.
Well, sir, going back to January 29th, pulling away from the residence on Fairview Road, you didn't see anything on the side of the road, is that correct?
Absolutely not, no.
And what is it that you would have done had you seen anything, or had you seen Mr. O'Keefe on the side of the road on January 29th?
I've spent my whole life between being a firefighter, working in the profession that I work now, being a tactical medic, If I had saw John O'Keefe on the side of the road, I would have done something to make a difference.
No further questions.
Aaron, thank you for the 5 on
Stand up and
Facebook.
stretch.
I appreciate that. I really get any stars on Facebook, so thank you so much for that. What are you guys thinking this morning, man? What are you thinking? How you feeling? Hey, Elsa, how you doing? Good morning. What are you thinking? How you feeling, man? Man, I just feel like some of these witnesses have all these little sketch things, but I guess they're trying to explain it away, like the preservation thing. But the thing is, they've all did some shit right before either the order was given or after it was given, but then it was denied with this guy. So the preservation order was 9/22. Actually, BL sent me a tweet too at the time. We'll take a look at that. Valley asking about the phone and preservation order 9/22. Were you informed the motion was denied? He said on October 5th he knew. And Higgins testifying he was unfamiliar with the preservation orders because he got rid of the phones because he needed a new one. And then he's trying to explain away too that, well, you know, I go to this, I drive through this military base or whatever, and I occasionally dump trash there. Why? You know, I don't know. It's like because of somewhere he lives. And so they're trying to say, oh, well, he didn't just toss the phone. He was throwing away with all his other trash. And then they're trying to explain away. I know because there was this focus on, oh, you know, he was at the police station and like, what was he doing there all that time or whatever. The only thing that kind of lost me with, like, well, a little questionable, this whole, they just do a data dump of, I guess, for the whole day, 167 pages, 4,500 swipes, and Higgins was 18.
Sir, you testified that a prime motivator of you to get rid of your phone was a July 22nd call from a target of an investigation that you were working on.
I never said it was a prime motivator.
Was it a prime motivator?
No, what I testified to was the phone number was what I was concerned about primarily.
Right.
Didn't have anything to do with the phone.
Oh, you did not change your phone number on July 22nd, correct?
July of 2022? Is that what you mean?
The date that you received a call, supposedly, from a target of an investigation you were working on was July 22nd of which year?
So it was, I believe it was July 25th of 2022.
July
I was so
25th.
concerned that I reported it to my supervisor.
Right, but you did not change your phone number after that for quite a while, correct?
I believe it was September.
Okay. So for those months, you kept the same phone number and kept the same phone, correct?
I did.
And September happened to be the month that you received the preservation order from this court, correct?
September of 22, yes.
Right. Now, with regard to the text exchanges that you had with Karen Reed, you testified that you were embarrassed about them.
Well, I wasn't proud of them.
I think your word was embarrassed, correct?
I can agree to that. That's fair.
Well, you already testified to that,
Oh,
right?
shit. You have to agree.
I
You
believe
just said
that
it.
might have
5
been
minutes ago?
Might have been a word I used, yes.
Might have been.
And you also
You did.
Explained that you would keep things like that to yourself, correct?
That could be something, yes.
However, you would also agree with me that while they were going on, you told your boss about that text exchange, correct?
Well, I told her about the kiss.
Do you deny telling your boss about the texting that you were doing with Karen Reed?
I don't know if I specifically recall that, no.
But you don't deny it, sir, correct?
It's possible that I told her about that. I'm not going to deny it.
All right. And in any case, those text exchanges were preserved. You preserved those before disposing of your phone, correct? correct?
Correct.
And with regard to the other text exchanges that you did not preserve with the Alberts, including Brian Albert, are you familiar with the term consciousness of guilt, Mr. Higgins?
Objection, Your Honor.
The objection sustained.
I may have a moment.
Yes.
Just one more thing. With regard to the date that you changed phone numbers on your phone, you would agree with me that was September 29th of 2022?
When I actually changed the phone number?
That's what I just asked.
Yeah, yes, I also got a new phone. Yes.
Okay. September 29th of 2022, you changed your phone number and got a new phone. And then September 30th, the next day, you were served with the preservation order, correct?
Wow.
I got the preservation
Wow.
order on the 30th. That's correct.
Nothing further.
All right, Mr. Higgins, you are all set, sir.
Thank you, Your
Wow.
Honor. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Lally, who's your next witness?
May we approach?
Sure.
Who is next? That's what I want to know too. Oh man. All right. All right. All right. It's too much shit, man. It's too much. All right. Let's see here. I don't know. I'm thinking like who could be next. I don't know if to bring some expert testimony or they're gonna bring some other people. Or Proctor. Proctor would be really interesting. Somebody's here says there are liars. This is crazy. Sus. Done. Next witness.
First, we're going to take a 10-minute recess.
You are
Morning
unmuted.
break.
All rise to the court, please. Follow me.
All aboard. All right, so I'm gonna have to get to this too. This.
All right, so Mr. Lally, your next witness is a juvenile.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh
All right,
shit!
so there's a specific media order that there'll be no transmission of this testimony. Well, and by agreement of the parties, the child witness will be sitting in the courtroom, in the witness stand, when the jury comes back in, and that's by agreement, Ms. Giannetti.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so 10 o'clock or so, we'll come back out.
So we're not gonna get to see this.
So you're just going to end that?
Hey there, Karen Reed trial watchers. This is a law and crime legal alert. Google Incognito tracked users' browsing data without their knowledge. Yep. Well, Mass Tort Alliance, one of our legal sponsors, is actually helping users file for compensation due to issues surrounding Google users' privacy through their...
All right, so we got to get to this. I wonder. The only thing is, I don't know how long this testimony is going to take with the child. By the way, what child? The kids. Let me see. What kid? Let me look this up. Lord Almighty. bringing kids to the stand. Well, I wonder, like how. Oh, is that what it is? The niece maybe, niece and nephew. Oh, I wonder like around how old they are because, I mean, would they be in their teenage years or would they still be like, I don't know. That's probably gonna be tough. And so, were they gonna do both of them? The kids John was raising. Damn, we're not gonna hear it, so we can't. They said no transmission. Let me see if the reporter said anything about it. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Thing is, I don't know if it's gonna be like an hour or a couple hours. It made me think of the boy in the box trial, but they actually did have the kids testify, but not on camera. You could just hear the audio. So I don't know. She's probably 17 now. They're older, but still minors. Yeah, I wonder what. So where are they gonna? Why bring the kids in? Wow. So Turtle Boy tweeted this morning too, and he says sources told me this morning that Michael Proctor will not be called as a witness for the Commonwealth. That is crazy if that turns out to be true. He is the lead investigator in the Karen Reed case and is currently under internal affairs investigation by the state police for lying to state grand jury and looking for naked pictures in Karen's phone. It is not normal for the lead investigator in a murder case to not be called. That if that turns out to be true, oh my God. Yeah. So supposedly they're going to be allowed to report the testimony, I guess, on Twitter, I guess. There's not going to be any video or audio, but all right. Let me play this video first, and then I'll do the Nick stuff, and then we'll figure it out.
I don't really spend a lot of time looking for that photo, but this was from thanks to That's News to Me. So you can see that there's a photo that involves what we call in emergency medicine as signs of a closed fist injury, or it is a closed fist injury. Now, the reason why that's important is because if you see that on an exam of a patient, you of course have to make sure that that injury isn't from one of violence, and you want to make sure that the patient is safe. But you also are curious, or should be curious, to know what caused the injury. Because if the injury was sustained from, for example, a punch to someone else's mouth, then that can lead to a very different treatment. Now, our knuckles are joints that have a thin layer of skin protecting them, and an injury involving a punch to someone else's mouth can lead to the transmission of normal bacteria that live in the mouth into the joint, which can lead to a dangerous infection that needs to be treated. Now, that infection can lead to a problem called tenosynovitis, or it can even lead to something like septic arthritis. These are very difficult infections to treat that can be life-changing for the patient. Now, back to the case, this person says that they sustained this injury from from falling. And it reminded me about a case from a book about emergency medicine cases that I really like. It's called Bounce Backs. But this is literally the first case in this textbook. And I just think that some of the education here is interesting. For example, one of the quotes from this book is, patients with CFIs or closed fist injuries often have a history of recent alcohol use, are notoriously non-compliant, and frequently offer an alternative explanation for the cause of their injury. Now, in emergency medicine, you kind of sometimes have to do a little bit of an investigation to make sure that you are getting the right treatment to the patient, because if that history is missed and that patient doesn't get the appropriate antibiotics, they could end up bouncing back to the emergency room with a worsening infection, and they could possibly even have permanent disability because of that crucial information that was missed. So my education here to my TikTok med students is that whenever you see an injury like that to the dorsal surface of someone's knuckles, on the outside of their fists, you always have to ask more questions. And one quote that I always remember from this book is, not even apes who walk on their knuckles use them to protect themselves when they fall. All right, I thought that was interesting.
So they're saying what he said, that he fell. I think he said it was like in a driveway, and he like tried to catch himself. Water the plants notification. That is bullshit. Is what it's saying.
Watering the plants.
That's just wild, bro. If they're really not calling Proctor. That was funny. Into the Mystic says, do the kids have new phones? Oh, man. All right. So let me just read this with Rakia Law. I've really been meaning to do a live. I was actually kind of hesitant to do it or not. I don't know. But then it could turn out to be something interesting, because I think this guy, he said he wants to represent himself, his wife, and I think the side piece or whatever she is to him. And a lot of people have been really dismissive about this situation. All right, give me a second. I want to show you this document, but I want to redact the address. So give me 1 second. Let me just go full screen. I don't want to put his, even though it's out there apparently, but I don't want to add to it. Give me just 1 second. I've never seen this before. I haven't even really looked at it. I've heard things. I haven't even watched the video yet, actually, of him, the hearing that he had. I was going to save it for the live stream, but let me just redact this. It's bad, bro. It is really bad. I knew it was bad, but now that I see this, Lord Almighty, it's even worse. Worse than I thought. Worse than I thought. Let me see if there's anything else I need to redact real quick. Bloop, 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 bloop. If you haven't seen this yet, you're gonna be like, what the? So if you don't know who Rakia Law is, he's like this. He's a lawyer. I don't think he's practicing really. I think he's just doing YouTube. And he's a big YouTuber. And I mean, back in the days of Johnny Depp, and I always forget. I don't know why this kid's name always slips my mind. That guy during the Black Lives Matter that shot those two people was found not. Kyle Rittenhouse. He was, I mean, at one point he had like 100,000 people watching him. And then recently, apparently people have been saying that he's been like spiraling out. I didn't even know that because I don't watch him like that. But then I saw a recent video where he appears to be really high and almost like taking care of himself under the table while the live stream is going. And I guess he didn't realize it was streaming or whatever. It's an insane video to see. Anyway, I think he was arrested. He was arraigned. They're saying there were substances all over the house. Let me read this to you. Now it's redacted. Let me read this to you. This is pretty wild. On May 16, 2024, The sergeant, Dave Nestor, received a report regarding possible child neglect and controlled substance abuse. The reporter indicated that, this is the lawyer, Rakia, resides at this address. He resides at this residence with his wife, Kayla, and 5 children, 6 to 16. The reporter indicated that at least 4 people from their church had gone to him reporting neglect to the children, possible controlled substance use, and a questionable relationship with an additional couple. And there's like all this drama with another couple. I don't even understand what's going on. Oh, Kimmy said the side people was giving him a BJ allegedly. It was reported that Nicholas is a social media YouTuber, and he and his wife Kayla had befriended hosts from a different local social media blogger. Yeah, so there's like these other people, these other YouTubers, I guess. Those individuals were identified as Aaron and April. Your affiant knows personally these are personalities of the Steel Toe Morning Show, which used to be in St. Cloud, Minnesota radio. However, as of recent years, the show has been a social media entertainment show strictly online based. It was reported that the Imholtz may have been staying with the Rakias. This is the lawyer YouTuber, and the home was in disarray and cluttered. It was reported from a church preschool teacher that the children had complained of being hungry and not being fed, and wearing the same clothes for 3 to 4 days at a time, and would start to smell. Okay, if this is true, this is really, really bad. All right. There's a lot of people like co-signing him, or just, I understand, like, I don't know, I guess people want to stand by him, but there's some serious shit going on. And I made a post because I saw some of the things people were saying. Because, well, one, he made a post denying it. He said something like, it's all fake, nothing's real. You know how some of these crazy people, they completely in denial online. It's all made up. It's all whatever. And, you know, he might have a hardcore fan base, so they'll probably believe anything he says. And, of course, he has to have his day in court. But this is really bad from multiple people. Okay, I don't think this is just concocted and just made up on a fabrication out to get him and take him off of his YouTube page because the Illuminati or whatever. It's bad. Nicholas was reported to being lethargic and appeared high or drugged out, driving a car around. Another individual advised that reported that Nick will walk out randomly during sermons at church and have noticed behavioral changes in him. There was a stream too that I saw, like, somebody sent it to me. At some point, he gets up and like disappears for an hour. I might have disappeared too, but I wasn't doing no, whatever they claim this guy did. I don't know how long I disappeared for. Or there was one time I think there was one time recently. I don't know what I did. Oh, I think I went to lay down. I don't know what's going on, but I promise I wasn't doing no shit like this. Nicholas was reported to being lethargic and appeared to be high or drugged, driving a car around. Another individual advised that the reporter that Nicholas will walk out randomly during sermons at church and notice behavioral changes. Well, I mean, at least he was going to church. At least. Yeah. One individual described Nicholas as having injection or track marks on his arms. The reporter reiterated concerns for possible neglect and or controlled substances within the home. That's a snippet. I have to get the whole report. That's bad. You can't tell me that's not bad, bro. Ugh. So we have to see. He wants to represent himself, apparently the wife, and the side piece. Yeah, Snapchat at the Murdog. The trial, well, they're taking a little break. But when they come back, they're not going to, there's going to be kids testifying, so they're not going to show it. You're not going to be able to hear audio, I guess. You're not going to be able to see. The only thing is, I guess maybe the court reporters may be able to testify. I mean, not testify, but make posts on Twitter. So I'm holding out to see, because if they come back and do that, then maybe I can just read the tweets. Yeah, no, I need to do an episode on it, because what happens when I do it like this, it gets lost in the stream. It needs a dedicated live. Murdo. Bro, that's just wild. They say they're claiming even track marks. Damn, bro. I don't even think we're gonna get audio. All right, let's see what else we got. Karen, I could look at the timeline here. Let's take a look at this. Wait, what? Oh, here we go. Oh, you can't live tweet. Damn. Okay. So Turtle Boy said they're not even allowed to live tweet. So they're really just keeping it to the case. Wow. So I think this is what we do. I think we should end it and do something else until they come back. I don't know if we should do the Nick Ricea, but I had a whole bunch of tabs pulled up the other day in preparation, and it's gone. Maybe I can do my search my history. Oh yeah, I think it's actually still my history. I can actually pull all the tabs open. I mean, maybe we could do something else in the meantime. It's, I gotta find that live stream. Oh god, I still don't know what this other lawyer was doing, putting glue on his butt or something. I don't know what that guy. Okay, do we have it? Okay, that's one. Okay. I might need some time. I want to get the full documentation of that. I'm sure I could find it. Oh my god. Live arraignment. Okay, this is what I was looking for too. Live arraignment. Here we go. All right. I want to see the arraignment. Some of you guys probably have seen it. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that dude, Grumpy. I don't know. So Brown Eyed Ali. I was thinking we do Ali this week, but I don't want to do Ali in between testimony. I feel like since the rest of the week is off, we can do some of the Ali stuff tomorrow and the day after, because that thing is literally hours, like 6 hours. So I don't want to start it and be worried like, oh, we have to get off because the testimony's done. Let's see. Okay, they got this here. Did the side piece ever? Oh, she already built out. All right. So I guess I'll schedule something. You guys want to do a Nick Ricea, I guess we'll have to do that. He was on for 3 days? The Ali dude? I thought it was 2 days. They dropped her charges. Ooh. Yeah, hoax, John's children. So there's not going to be any video, audio. Not going to be, not even tweets, apparently. Wow. She's probably cooperating. That's what I was thinking after you said that. Yeah, I'm going to do the. Okay, so I actually made a thumbnail the other day. Let's see. Okay, I guess I have a thumbnail ready to go. So let me schedule this. I think we should be able to get through Nick Ricea. At least through the preliminary stuff. Okay. I think I'm gonna need like, I don't know, I want like 15 minutes. Out of zero, I don't know if it's gonna be one or two. I would think that they're just gonna do both, back to back, knock it out. What the hell's that thumbnail at? Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna set the stream up. Twitter boy said he can't live tweet. We're not allowed to live report or use computers or phones while the monitors are testifying. Other reporters believe they are interpreting the order incorrectly, as this seems as a huge First Amendment violation. We're allowed to take notes, pen to paper only. That's crazy. Well, I mean, I understand because it's kids, but I've seen where they just have audio and that's it. They don't put their face or anything, but all right, so I'm gonna schedule this next stream, 10:45, just to have a few minutes to kind of gather myself and get these links together. I wish I had time to find the full report too. I mean, there's a few things I got to look up. Right there. Okay. Oh, these guys redacted at least. Okay, guys, I'll see you in a few. I'm gonna get this together. I'm gonna try to pull up as much as I can real quick. I'll be back at 10:45. So that's what, 25 minutes? All right. 25 minutes. I'll be right back. All right. Love you guys. Let me make sure I transfer you guys. We'll do Nick Ricea. and it shouldn't take too long to get through it. And then if anything, we'll come back and update it. If we don't have time to get through everything. I want to at least get the arraignment, whatever other clips I can find online. All right, I'll see you guys. Bye.